All right, magic makers. I scour the world to find awesome people to just talk about the things we are thinking. Maybe you don't want to admit it out loud, but I brought Miss Nina Manolson here, and she is a board certified health and wellness coach, psychology, eating as well, certified. And we are talking about how to accept your over 40 body. I know personally, I felt that my body just gave me the finger when I turned 40. I know that many of you are just like, girl, what happened? I woke up, I was this haughty, and now I'm a naughty. Like, what's going on? And I brought in someone who's just going to help us navigate this and really get our minds straight about this over 40 body. Welcome to the show, Nina.
Oh my gosh, Kim, thank you so much for having me. I was smiling and laughing the whole time you were talking, and you and I chatted before. And I was like, oh my gosh, you were like, okay, I'm hitting record now because clearly we have some juicy things to talk about.
Yes, yes. I mean, I know for me, I was like, my body just like literally, I woke up and I'm like, what happened? Like,
Mhm.
and I know that, logic and feelings are just like wires across. I know it didn't happen overnight, but for many
Yeah.
of us, it's this slow, like drip
Hmm.
to that one day you put on a pair of pants or you look at a picture or someone
Hmm.
said something and you're just like, holy, what
What
happened?
happened here? How did this happen?
Right.
Right? Absolutely. And there's so many factors in that. One is our perception of ourself, right?
Mm,
How we perceive ourselves on the inside. Often people say, I still feel on the inside like I'm 18. And then I look in the mirror and I am shocked,
yes.
absolutely shocked, right? How did that happen? Sometimes it's also the little bit shifted, which is, wow, my body is actually starting to hurt. I'm
Yeah.
having those weird aches in my knee, or my hip is a little funny, or gosh, I got this prick that just doesn't just click back, right? And so sometimes there's the sort of what I call the yelling of our body that
Mm,
gets our attention. But
yes.
all of those things, whether it's the reflection in the mirror, whether it's the aches, the pains, the issues that suddenly you're, going to the doctor to get this little thing removed and that little thing, buzzed off because it might be, they have to test for skin cancer or this or that, all those things that come with having a body that has lived for a decade or two,
Right.
all of those things have us come face to face with the reality that
Yeah.
bodies change.
Yep.
And I know it sounds basic, right? This idea bodies change. We all know that, except that our media says to us 24/7, oh no, don't let that happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Or we see, the celebrities out there that are like,
Yes.
it's like you're like, do I need to have a posse of people like J Lo or Jennifer
Mm-hmm.
Aniston to be able to look like they do at 50? Because it's like
Yes.
I remember, I think it was like maybe it was like 10 or 20 years ago when Tina Turner turned 50. And
Yeah.
I was like, if I could look like Tina Turner
Mm.
when I turned 50, wow. And it's just
Yes.
like, that's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. It takes a lot of support. And one way to think of it when we start getting into that comparison is first of all, it's apples and oranges, right? She's not
True.
me,
Yep.
but also they are their product. That is
Mm,
literally what they sell,
yes.
is their image,
Yes.
both their image on camera, but
Mm-hmm.
also just their persona. This is their product. Most of us have some other thing that we're focused on. We're focused on our children, our parents, our partner, our relationships, our work, our volunteer, our community, there's many things that are the place of our focus. For these
Yeah.
celebrities, the place of their focus is their image. And
Yeah.
so to go, do I want to spend 8 hours every day working on that? I don't know that I do. Would
Yeah.
it be nice? Would it be fun to look like, J Lo, Jennifer Aniston, Tina Turner, all of the above? Sure, it'd be fun. But I have other things that I'm here to
Yeah.
do.
It's funny. I used to do fitness competitions, and so many people will say to me, Kim, would you ever go back? And I think to myself, like, I don't want to make that time anymore.
Right.
It's like, could I probably, I look back at, Kim from, 15 years ago, and I'm like, I had to be very deliberate about
Hmm.
my day.
Yes.
And so many people, as you pointed out, as I look at these people, do I want to invest that time in that?
Yeah. And then we're not just investing time, right? Think about the stress that goes
Oh
into
yeah,
that.
it's all, it's like, it's the time, then it's like the energy, then it's like
Right.
just the mental capacity to get yourself to that level and stay there.
Right. The expectations are
Yes.
wrapped in stress. And then what does stress do?
Oh
Right.
gosh.
Now we're messing with our hormones big time.
Yep.
Right. If we have, if nothing else over the last 15 years have taught us that hormones are disrupted by stress.
Yeah.
So when we're going, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to have the body of when I was 18, I'm supposed to have the body of Tina Turner, I'm supposed to have the body of, there's so much stress of expectation
Yeah.
that actually disrupt our own relationship with our body. It keeps us in that fight or flight, keeps us, which is that sympathetic nervous system
Yeah.
activation, keeps us out of parasympathetic. That's that rest and digest,
Mm.
where we feel like, oh, this feels good to be in our body. And where do we do most of our feeling good? In that rest and digest. Where do
Yeah.
we feel not enough and comparison? And oh my gosh, I need to lose more weight. I need to exercise harder. I'm just not good
Mm.
enough. I can't walk into a party and feel good about myself. I'm always comparing myself to the other person. That does not happen in that place of rest and digest. It happens in that place of stress.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny that you say that, because I feel that some of my listeners are these A plus plus type women,
Mm-hmm.
and the fear, the downtime, that
Mm.
quiet, that lull is, um, I should be doing something,
Yes.
and you're like, but you're resting. That's doing
Mm-hmm.
something, and so it's really, helping them to get out of this like busy.
But Kim, what you're saying is so important that I want to say it again. When you're resting, you are doing something.
Yeah.
We have such a culture that's based on productivity, based
Yes.
on go, based on push, based on hustle, right? Brene Brown
Mm,
calls it the hustle for worthiness, right?
yes.
Let me do more. And then see, now do I have a gold star on my forehead? Now do I have the badge of honor, the busy badge of honor?
Yeah.
Oh, it's exhausting. And then women feel depleted. Then they reach for whatever is in front of them to make them feel more sated, more relaxed. And then
Right.
they give themselves a hard time for having eaten. I'm like,
Right. Right.
whoa.
It's just this like circle that just keeps like eating itself.
Yes, so painful,
So
so
painful.
painful. And then where do we point? Oh my gosh, I'm eating the wrong thing. If I just ate the right thing, if I just lost the weight,
Right.
then all of this would go away. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And then they
Let's
go down
slow
to
the
Dr.
roll.
Google to be
Right.
like, what's the best superfood that I can just
Yes.
eat right now and lose 400 pounds?
I know I'm laughing, except we all know how sad and painful it is.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And that's why I have people on here for you. And I approach it with humor, because I've been in that desperate dieter mode
Oh
where
gosh, me too.
you
Hmm.
just want, you're like, I will do anything. And and you probably say the same thing to your clients, is that, what if you just picked one thing to stop doing? And they would be like, what are you
Hmm.
doing, Kim? Like, you're telling me to, I'm giving you permission that you don't have to have 4 million things on your plate.
Yeah. Yeah. It is when we start talking about the expectations we have on ourselves,
Oh my God.
right? That's heavy.
Huge. I mean, the expectations that we put on ourselves, I would never ask you, I would never be like, Nina, I need you to do these 500 things by today. I would,
Right.
and if I
Right.
did ask you, you would look at me like, are you crazy?
Right.
Yeah. If I told myself, Kim, you got to do these 500 things. And if you don't do them by today, like, you suck.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, and if you look at the list, it's like climb Everest,
Right.
like build a building,
Yes.
have a
Yes.
baby. Like, it's all these things that like aren't things that aren't realistically done in a day.
Right. And it's so true. I remember when I was first starting to sort of wrap my mind around not having 500 things on my to-do list, I started reading different people about
Mm.
productivity and about reality and productivity. And one woman said, expect yourself to do 8 things. And I
Oh,
was like, 8? And I was like, wait, there's 500 on my list, right?
yeah.
And she's like, and making dinner is one. Laundry is one. I was like, what? How is that even on the list? Like,
Right.
I
That's looped
couldn't
into
believe it.
housework.
Right. That's just all of managing the entire family. What do you mean? Right. So to be in that place of like, wait, what we're talking about here is how do we nourish ourselves and how do we get in our way of nourishing ourselves?
Oh, I love
Because
that
we're
word.
looking at where do we want nourishment? And we're thinking, okay, if I get it all done, then I get that Calgon take me away moment. Then I get to
Yes.
go, have a bath. Then I'm allowed to have a girlfriend's evening. Then, but not
Yes.
until I
Yes.
have deserved it, right? It's
Yes.
a, and so it becomes nourishment for ourselves gets pushed off. And we want to flip the script on that. And we
Mm,
want to put nourishment for ourselves first,
yes.
right? And I know it sounds like everybody's going to be like, I've heard it a million times, right? Putting on your oxygen mask before everybody else's. And that means slowing down. It means taking time, right? So many women, so I mostly also work with women over 40 who are struggling with their
Yeah.
relationship with their food and their body. And in that, they're like, yes, but I don't have time to make a meal for myself. I'm doing 500 other things.
Right.
Or, you know what? I just feel, I'm just so busy, I haven't eaten. And then I'm wondering, why am I binging at the end of the night?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? We have to look at like, where are you not being taken care of?
Yeah.
Where are you slipping through the cracks?
Use a word that I think is underutilized and really needs to come back. Nourish.
Mhm,
Right? You like nourish is just so rich, such a rich
mhm,
word. And as you were saying that, like, many people, you'll say nourish and you'll say, where are you falling through the cracks? And then again, my list starts of what
mhm,
I need to do for
mhm,
nourishment.
mhm,
And I just was on a call with a client right before here, and
mhm,
she was like, Kim, she's like, it's the end of the year. She works for a nonprofit and they're sprinting to
mhm,
the end of the year to raise money
mhm,
before,
mhm.
and so she's like, Kim, I don't even know where to start. It's like, I'm just like underwater. And I was
Yes.
like, I go, 15 minutes. I want you to think about what can you do every day, 15 minutes. I'm like, I don't care what it is. You can lock yourself in your office for 15 minutes and do whatever. And so she came back to me, she said, Kim, what I've been doing for 15 minutes? She says, I have on my iPod songs that I like to sing. And she goes, go out of my way. I take an extra 15 minutes to drive home and I sing for 15 minutes. And she's like, it makes my day feel so much better. I'm like, see, I'm like, it's 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everyone can find 15 minutes to do, even if you're just sitting quietly, reading a book, do like nothing.
Yeah. That's not even even if, even that's amazing to sit quietly, because that
Yeah.
is something we don't give ourselves, is that moment just to be, because it's always in motion, in
Yeah.
service, right? I spoke to a client of mine today who said, I was being there for so many people. She was trying
Yes.
to, we're unpacking what happened. She was sort of in this, what I call trolling for food. Like, oh, I'm going to go to
Yeah.
Trader Joe's and I'm going to find this thing that I want. Oh, they don't have it there. Let me get it, go there. Oh, and
Yeah.
then eat it in the car, right? Before anyone sees it, the secret shameful eating. So
Yep.
we're unpacking what's going on there, right? And what happened earlier in the day? What happened was she was there and on and holding everybody, doing all the
Mm,
emotional labor, being the person to really be supportive. Then she walks away from that. Who's going to hold her?
right.
Right? The cookies. Oh, I know cookies will hold me. We don't say that consciously. We
Yeah.
don't go, gee, the cookies will hold me, but we start looking for that emotional support. And
Yeah.
so then we're back to the self blame. Eat the cookies, then feel bad about it, and then feel, oh my gosh, what's the matter with me?
Oh, for sure. For
Nothing's the
sure.
matter with you. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. No, what's the matter with you is you're not taking the pause. Because if
Yeah.
that's in the pause is where you find the the clarity.
Yeah.
And I'm so busy here that I
Hmm.
can't see the trees for the forest. And you
Right.
said something that I think a lot of people don't understand when the word you said emotional labor.
Hmm.
And I remember I was taking a course on mindfulness, and this was the first time I heard this word, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And so, for anyone who doesn't know what the word is, emotional labor is primarily a female thing. You
Hmm.
don't you It's rare. I'm not going to exclude men, but it's rare that you have a man who will talk about emotional labor. Emotional labor is all the little things that we as women take care of that we don't think about.
Hmm.
So she talked about the laundry, grocery shopping, cooking, making sure kids get from A to B, Christmas, Thanksgiving, any holiday, any birthday. Those are the little kind of like nuances of life.
Yeah. I actually think of it a little slightly differently. So I think of that as the mental load.
Yep.
All the things, that list that we're holding in our head that never gets written down,
Right.
that we're, oh, I need to call my mom and I need to check on this one. Blah, blah, blah. Emotional labor is, oh, my kid went to school today. I know she was feeling a little bit sad. I wonder how she's doing. Let me reach out. Let me text her. Let
Right.
me
Or
support her through the day.
she had a test today. How'd it
Yes.
go? Or
Yeah.
my husband had a presentation today.
Yes.
How'd he do? Or
Yes.
my coworker is going to ask her boss for a raise today.
Yes,
How'd it
let me
go?
check in. Let
Yeah.
me check in. Let me spend some time talking to them. Oh, my mom went to the doctor. How are you doing? What's going on? It's the way we hold with our whole heart, with all the best of intentions, because that's how we have been trained as women, is
Right.
to be wholehearted and be completely embracing. But that takes emotional labor. And then to make everything go is also um, mental load. So
Yeah.
we do both and we do them invisibly.
Yeah. We
And this,
don't even think about it.
nope.
It's this whirling that's always happening back here.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. And so important for us to make it actually visible to people in our life.
Yeah, when you said that about one of my clients, she's Italian, and she's the like you got to take care of your family. Like that's
Yes.
what's been ingrained in her is that. And I said, well, could you, you've been working a lot. I'm like, could you ask your family to make dinner? Oh, Kim,
Oh,
I my no, my family really can't make. And without even saying
yes.
asking, she was immediately like, no, I can't, like, I must take care of my family.
Yeah,
And
that's my job.
because that's how
Mhm.
she's like, that's how she was raised. She's like, Kim, I'm Italian. And I'm like, I get it. The next door, the Belosi's lived next door. And I saw how hard she worked. And like,
Mhm.
still came home every day and like cooked these meals.
Right, real meals, like
Right.
serious, right?
These
Not one
meals.
pot dishes,
Yeah. These
meals, right?
meals.
Yeah.
And I just see this like load of like you have that on top of you,
Yeah.
plus just life, like just your actual like work life balance, and then you're trying to take on what happened to my body.
Right. Okay. So it brings us back to that. Then we look and go, wait, my body did what? What we were doing with this wonderful body of ours was taking care of everybody. And so
Yeah.
really the work, the sort of developmental next step for us in terms of our relationship with our body at this age is to actually be in a relationship with our body,
Yes.
not kick ourselves to the curb, not put ourselves on the sideline,
Mm,
not send ourselves like, oh, you know what? After I make the meal, after I take care of everybody. No, it's saying I want to be a good steward to this amazing body of mine.
right. Yeah. I like that. It's like you have a relationship with your body. And first, if you think about any relationship, if it's
Mhm.
not nurtured, it withers
Nope.
and dies.
Yes.
And, you know, I laugh 'cause, like, I'm the friend who I'm not going to talk to for like 5 years, but if I call you out of the blue, we can pick up right where we left off. And our
Mhm.
bodies, we're not like
Not
that.
so much.
You're like, because it's like I can't like be a
Yeah,
rabid person who works out and then not work out for 5 years and then expect me to just be able to hop right back into where I was.
right. And that holds especially true as our body ages. We
Yeah,
need more. I'm here, and today I'm still here, and today I'm still here, right? We could get away with it when we were 20. You know, you could go and be a couch potato for 2 weeks and then get up and just go. Our body had that elasticity to it. But as we age, our body needs that sense of consistency, that sense of I am present, I am here, I am for you, I
right.
am with you, and I am not doing to you and at you and on you. That doesn't feel good. It feels bad. It
Yeah.
feels like it feels aggressive, actually. It
Yeah.
just feels plain aggressive.
Right. And then it's because we kind of like we get into this, we think we can just pick it up like, like a book, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I started reading a book and then I put it on the shelf and now I'm going to pick it back up just where I magically left off of. And even that book, you're like, hang on, wait, why is she with this guy? What happened?
Mhm.
Like, and I have to go back and like get the backstory where
Yeah.
with our body, with our health, like I need there to be some consistency there. And it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be constantly. And I think that's where many of us like fall through the cracks is that
Yeah.
we think constantly and consistency are the same thing.
Right. Right. It has to be like full on. I'm training for a marathon now.
Right.
Not so much, right?
Yeah.
Again, stressful, feels a little aggressive. But there was something you said, Kim, that was really interesting around, when we sort of go back in the book and we're like, what? Wait, what happened? And we're trying to get basically current with the story. And this is an idea that a phrase that I coined that is very helpful when we're talking about our body as she ages, which is being body current, right? What you're
Mm,
saying is, I want to get current. Where am I of the story, right? That's where we want to be with our body. We want to be body current. What's the story now? Who is
yeah.
this body? And sometimes that does require, right? Like I've started watching something on Netflix. It was season 2. I was like, I don't remember what happened with season 1, right? And they had one of those like, past scenes from season 1, right? And
Right.
as I'm watching it and I'm like trying to recall. It's a little bit like that with our body. Sometimes we
Mm,
actually, to get current, we have to go back and go, oh yeah, that pregnancy really did a number, or that infertility treatment, woof, that really knocked
yeah.
me for a loop. Or, oh, that miscarriage, wow, that was a few years that I was really struggling in my body and in my mental health. Or, wow, when I was younger and that, you know, assault or that car accident or that illness or that injury, right? Sometimes we have to go back and look at the important scenes in the story of our body
Right.
so that we can come current, because we can't pretend like oh yeah, let's just carry on from here. Our body is the story of our life. We hold the story of our life in our body, and it's important for us to listen to her,
Yeah.
because then we're wondering like, I don't understand, why is it that whenever This happens for many people. Why is it whenever the holidays roll around and I feel like so out of like, balance and out of kilter and da, 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 da. Well, let's see what happened, right? At other holiday times in your life. Were they
Yeah.
hard? Were they times of stressful times at the family table? And so it feels stressful and hard for you to listen to your body and tune into I'm full or I'm hungry.
Yeah. Yeah. There was so much in there that I just like, I'm like, as I was taking notes, I'm like, I don't even know where to start. So I want to start with getting body current. And I love that because it's like, in the book was a perfect analogy. Who knew? But it's like, yeah, I
Mhm.
have to play catch up to like and own where I am right now.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
many of us want to be Kim who was 30, and I'm not Kim
Yeah.
who's 30. I have to be like, how do I feel? Like, do I have that lower back pain? Do I have that shoulder injury? And
Yeah.
how do I work with what I got right now?
Yeah. And it speaks to Kim, this idea that our body is always, always, always changing. And we have many different bodies. And in fact, um, if I can, share a poem with you
Yeah, yeah.
about this. So
Yes.
one of the things I do is write body piece poems. So I write poems because it's a way to change the conversation that we're having with our body. It's the way to invite women into the conversation with their own body. And it's also the way that I process my own relationship with my body. So this poem that I wrote is called My COVID Body. And
Ooh.
it touches on this idea that our bodies are always changing.
Mm-hmm.
So here it is, my COVID body. I've had so many. My COVID body, padded for survival. My summer body, strong from swimming. My mom body, stretched from growing a person. My wedding body, small from photo fear. My injured body, immobile from pain. My surgery body, scarred from fighting. My winter body, soft from hibernating. My 20s body, fearless in motion. My teen body, heavy with shame. Every day, a different body. Every day, a different body, adapting to this one precious life. How many bodies have you had?
That's pretty good. That's like, spot on. And I think, everyone can relate to like those kind of milestone body
Yes,
times.
yes. And it is. We do have different bodies. And, the poem touches on those milestone moments, but every day we're waking up in a different body, right? Oh, this is
Yeah.
a body that slept really well last night. This is a body that what?
Yeah.
Where was sleep? Oh, this is a body that did errands, right? All day long, but go, go, go. And this is a body that sat at my computer all day long,
Right.
right? Those are different bodies. And how do we engage in our current body, right? And how do we do that with compassion in a way that we don't feel like we're in a war? We're not in this management cycle. We're not in this aggressive, you need to change, you're not doing it right, but where we can feel
Yeah.
actually good in our own skin.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the ultimate goal. And, as we're kind of like, wrapping up our call, I feel like what we've said to many people is that it's taking this giant step back and allowing yourself to slow down, allowing yourself to have that like breathing room so that we can figure out where we are.
Yeah. And it is taking a step back and really looking at that holistic perspective of where am I at with my relationship with my body? Where am I at with my relationship with food? Is this a relationship that's working with me? Or
Yeah.
am I constantly feeling bad about this relationship? Right? Do I want a divorce from this relationship? Or am I really in the process of working on this relationship, healing this relationship?
or
And it's very important to know that we can.
Right. Am I even in a relationship? Because sometimes many
Right.
or is it a relationship that if it was a true relationship, would you want to be in it? Where
Yeah.
for many women, it's like, I'm going to beat my body into submission until it pretty much
Yes.
it dies on me.
Yes.
Or I'm
Yeah.
just going to live in this fear that, if I don't eat in this exact box, there's a
Right.
problem.
Yes. Right. Absolutely, right? How do we create a relationship with our body and our food that actually makes us feel good in a sustainable long-term way,
Right.
right? So that we're embodied. We're not
Exactly.
living out of our body, or I talk to my clients about living next door to your body. Oh,
Yeah.
she should go to the gym. Oh, she should eat that. Oh, she should, right?
Right.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
We want to be in a partnership, in an allyship with our own body.
Absolutely.
And it's possible.
It's possible. And it's funny because I feel like there's always like a theme that weaves between many of the people that I interview. And this was probably about 2 years ago. A woman was on my show and she was one of these over trainers. And the one kind of like, coconut to the head moment for her was she was getting a massage and the woman said to her, she's like, your body's been screaming for decades.
Mhm.
And she was like, she's like, what are you talking about? She's like, thinking injuries because she was like this,
Mhm.
and the woman was like, if you can't hear your body whisper, how are you going to hear it scream?
Yep.
And everything you just said echoes right into that, where it's
Mhm.
like we've been in this relationship where we're just like, shut up, body, you don't know. Sit
Yeah.
down. I'll
Yeah.
talk when spoken to.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so
And
we
it's
need
time for
to
us to say, no, come sit. Come sit
right
by me. I'm
and
listening.
stop this abusive relationship because as we mentioned, like if someone talked to me the way I talk to myself, we wouldn't be
Yeah,
friends.
exactly.
We wouldn't be friends. And so the one thing I ask all of my guests before we close our interview is, what's the one thing that makes you feel magical?
Water.
Water. Wow.
Water. I swim at Walden as much as I can.
Ah,
I take baths. I go for isolation floats. I drink a lot of water. Water to me gets me back into my flow,
love it.
reminds me like just the fluidity of how I want to feel in my body. It makes me feel connected to sort of the juiciness of
Awesome.
life and pleasure.
I
Water.
love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So, and where can people connect with you on the socials?
Yeah. So I am on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn as Nina Manolson. And the easiest place to find me is my website. So you can either go to ninamanolson.com or Body Peace with Nina, all at one word.com. And there you'll find a practicing body peace journal for free. And in it are 5 of my body peace poems, but there's also 20 questions to engage this relationship with your body, to ask you like, so how is this relationship going? How are you talking? So it starts a conversation that we are desperately in need of. And you can find that at bodypeacewithnina.com.
Perfect. And everything she just said will be linked in the show notes. So don't worry if you are like on a walk and you can't write it all down. It'll be linked in there right now. Nina, I love this conversation. I could probably talk to you for 4 years. Thank
Me
you
too.
so much. And ladies, make sure you do like take the pause and able to really just like get into your body because it's not fighting you. We're fighting it.
Mm-hmm. Beautifully said. Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome.